Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome to Take Two for this Friday, the 19th of July, 2019. I'm Jeannie, and I'm so glad that you decided to come along for the ride this morning. Well, it is Friday, and that means, ta-da, it's time for my Unsung Hero of the Week. Now, this week, I have Unsung Heroes because it's a crew of people that I would like to honor. This is a crew of people who I believe were three of the bravest men who ever walked not only this earth, but also the surface of the moon. And my Unsung Heroes this week are the crew of the Apollo 11. Now, if you don't recognize them, I'll give you the names. Once I say them, you probably will remember. Neil Armstrong, Michael Collins, and Buzz Aldrin. Now, you know, a lot of times we remember Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong because they were the first two men to walk on the surface of the moon in July of 1969. But what about Michael Collins? Well, you know, it's not a name that immediately, maybe, unless you're a real Apollo and NASA buff, you may not remember the name of Michael Collins. But the truth be known, this man who is still alive and well and 88 years old, he was not only part of this crew of three, but he didn't actually get to go to the moon. He was the one who stayed orbiting while the other two bravely landed and did their walk and spent that monumental, historical making 21 hours on the moon's surface. You know, it's very interesting because there are folks who are alive and well today who don't remember this, and because maybe they were babies, or maybe, again, maybe they weren't born yet. Okay, now I do remember this because I was 11 years old, almost 12, and I remember it very, very well. I do remember my father had to work extra hours at CBS News because this was something really tremendous. As a matter of fact, my sister was with my father when the men landed on the moon. She went to work with him that day, and she was in the studio not a few feet away from Walter Cronkite when he said those famous words, "Man on the moon," when they landed, and she remembers that very, very well. But this was a groundbreaking moment in American history, and it all happened 50 years ago tomorrow. Well, actually, 50 years ago today, they were just getting ready to make that landing. And then when they did a few hours later, and it was July 20th, I think by Houston's time clock, when they landed Central Standard Time, it was a monumental and exciting moment in history. So, Neil Armstrong, Michael Collins, and Buzz Aldrin, and by the way, Buzz Aldrin is still alive also. He's 89 years old. Sadly, we did lose Neil Armstrong in 2012, but I will never forget those words. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. That was something that will always, always be permeated in my heart. We had to memorize that statement when I was in school because it was something that was so important in American history. So, boys, the most remarkable and amazing astronauts I think that ever lived, or at least among them, I give you a gold star, and I give you a virtual dozen roses. But not only that, boys, I also give you the American flag, because what a proud moment it was to be an American 50 years ago. And I'll tell you something else. There are a lot of folks today who are showing their children and grandchildren all the documentaries and specials on television because they remember it specially. And I have to say something. I honestly don't believe that I could watch that monumental moment, and when they came down the ladder and planted that flag on the moon's surface today, 50 years later, 5 decades later, without having a tear in my eye, because it was an amazing moment in American history and in world history. So you get my patriotic kudos besides your gold star and your virtual dozen roses, because boys, You truly are my unsung heroes of the week. And always. Now go be a blessing to somebody today, boys and girls. You might end up being the only one who is. And I encourage you, if you know somebody, especially a young person, who doesn't know the value of what these men did and would like to show them, there's plenty of stuff out there on the internet and on television, particularly all weekend long. There's going to be, all week long, there's been specials running. You can even watch it in actual time, which is something that Ram FM is going to be doing. Starting tomorrow evening, we are going to run it in actual time. So tune to WRMZ.org. You'll be tuned in and you'll be hearing what the audio was when these gentlemen arrived and walked on the surface of the moon, okay? Don't forget to do that. And also, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Jeanne Sigler, Jeanne Sigler. And also other great programming tomorrow. Heck, just put on WRMZ.org and listen to us all weekend long. And tomorrow morning, we've got Chef Michael at 10 o'clock Central. Fun stuff, guys. And also a rewind, a classic rewind of Lunch Break with Big Tom and Jeanne. All right, everybody, I love you all very much. It's a proud time to be an American right now. So don't forget that. And remember, reflect, and remember my unsung heroes, the Apollo 11 crew. I love you all very much. Have a great, superb weekend. I'll see you all back on Monday. Bye-bye.